As sad as it sounds, you know, even if they change, it doesn't change time because you can't get back that lost time, you know. You don't get to impede back in somebody's life that you hurt for 10, 15 years, you know, in a relationship, in business, emotionally, physically. Even though God gives us that mercy and God changes us, you can't come back in on people's life and just thinking we can start over. I'm ready now to start this relationship with you. I'm now ready to co-parent. I'm now ready to start working because that time waits for no one, you know. Some of us get that no revolving door policy, you know, where once we close that door just shut forever. Once you betray me, once you backstab me, it's over. And you know what I mean? You don't want to just burn that bridge with certain people out here in life. And that's just how that goes on in this life out here. People don't just get to change their life after years of emotionally, physically abusing someone, neglecting someone's children, and you know, you think 10, 12 years later, you didn't change your life around. You know, you didn't get spiritual. You didn't came home from prison. You didn't changed up everything. You finally healthy. You think you can change back that time and flip the clock sometimes. And now I'm ready to have a relationship with her. Now I'm ready to be with him. You know, now I'm ready to be with this group. Sometimes once those doors shut, that door is just shut. The windows will close. You got to be careful on that. This is the video I just seen where dude just thought he can just go back in the lady life and start co-parent the child again. The problem is, this is not the 2-year-old no more. This is a 17-year-old little girl now. Almost grown woman here in the next, years? Now you got to go through a relationship with her. Now you got a 17-year-old who don't even know you. You can't get back that time. Good that he changed up his life. It's good that he now know who he is. But you can't get back that time. You can't do people bad in business and, you know, think you can fix it by just giving them the money back. And here we are now. And, you know, you broke the code and we can just get back like that. Nah. You got to just take that lesson that you learned from that and you just got to keep on pushing. Some people don't let you cheat them twice. Some people don't let you beat them down again. Though you have changed. Like people like to say people lose people and, you know, he had a good relationship. He had a good woman he lost. You know, things like that just happen. Times do change and people do heal. God do restore us. But sometimes you can't just go back and impede in them people's life and just think it's up now. You know, I'm ready to be the best man I can be to you now, girl. Time ain't forever. We do show growth. We do show stability. And you are sympathetic now. I am sorry for stealing from you and hurting you and bringing your business down, making you lose a lot. But I'm ready to pay you back now. Sometimes these people don't really want the paybacks. Sometimes these people didn't have any ill will, ill resentment towards you. They just want to keep floating on with their life and just keep on going. Because that time, like I said, you know it don't last. You know, eventually it's going to tick on. You got to take care of your child now. And if you got a co-parent early and things didn't work out in a relationship, y'all got to do that now. Them kids ain't going to be babies no more. It's easy to co-parent when there's a little baby involved. 8 months, 2, 3-year-old. When they turn like 13, 14, 15, these kids, they almost grown now. So that kid want to have a relationship with you now. You know how much time is spent and how much this kid has learned to live without you? You can't get back that time. Sometimes your worst days, your hard days that you had, you was going through a storm and you had to check out and you had to just focus on you and you just had to neglect people and do it on your own. You ain't gonna be able to get back that time. It's hard trying to come back in a woman's life, in someone's life, a man's life, your children's life, a career, your family life. Sometimes people don't want to hear it. Sometimes these people was told, go ahead and just keep that door shut. It's happened to me before. People came try to come back into my life, and I was told just to keep the door shut. You know, he a good person. She a good woman now. That's not the same person that you were dealing with 15 years ago. But go ahead and just keep that door shut. You know, no ill will. I've been forgave you years ago, you know. But it's best for us to just go our separate ways and just live life like that. Because it's hard. Just like that man thought he could just go in and just jump into kid life. The mother didn't want anything to do with him. And then the best advice she gave him was she's going to go away to college. You can try your best to have a relationship with her. And lo and behold, that didn't work either. It takes two to tango out here. It takes two to make a relationship out here. And that forgiveness is heavy, you know? Some people held that got beat down and physically abused and, you know, mentally abused by people and neglected. And it took them a long time to let that hurt go. Sometimes that stemmed on for 10, 15, 20 damn years. Sometimes they had to go in and out of counseling. Sometimes they got addicted to drugs and, you know, alcohol because this bad relationship. Due to this person made them lose everything that they had. Due to them being in love with this person who played them and betrayed them. That forgiveness is heavy and it hurted them. And they finally healed through it. But it took that long. They just want to go on with their life now. Because that forgiveness, it doesn't mean re-entry. That don't mean I got to take you back into my life. I accept you back in my life and we can just go on ahead again and live happily ever after. We do got stories where people had a divorce and it was a bad marriage and 10 years later they met again and boom, they've been married 30, 40 years again. Those stories do happen. But the way I go, I shut them doors. I forgive you, and the heartache's there, you know, but sometimes some people get to that point in life where they don't want to continue no more with that relationship. You know, they don't want to do business with you anymore. I had bad business with people before as well, where they disrespected me, where, you know, they didn't tolerate me, where they were never on time, where they played me, where I was, you know, being very great for them, showing them much love. And, you know, I eventually had to shut that door. Like, you're not the only person I can go to. We got plenty of people doing the same business you do that's going to treat me great. Why would I settle for less for? Even if that time changed and now you want to do good business with me and you forgive me and you give me a discount and you want to show me all this love, I'd rather just go on with my life. You know, I use those things as lessons and continue to go on. We got to be careful out here how we just dealing with people out here. You know, you got to be careful with these relationships that you get in. You got to be careful with people that you walk away from and bridges that you burn. Because once you walk away, sometimes it ain't no walking back in them doors. Like I said, that no revolving door policy is real. You can't come in and out of here in my life like it's a party. I got boundaries on that. You out, you never stay out. I don't give a damn. And that's how you got to play your life. You can't let people impede in your life anytime they want to. You know, you got out this bad relationship. It took you a long time to heal. Sometimes it's best to let them doors keep shut. If God give you the signal to go ahead and give that person another shot, let them back in your life, go ahead. But the way I live this, I got to focus on my purpose. I got to continue. And I use everything as a lesson. But times wait for no one. And the windows always will close. That's all I got. Motivation comes in many forms. Lamborghini Lamar.